So good afternoon, my dear students. I'm very glad to see you today. Thanks for coming. So today, as you see, we have a roundtable discussion. You are supposed to discuss and to the slide that you see. Today we have guests. I want to introduce them to you. Our guest is Pavel Evgenievich. He is an academic secretary of Scientific Pedagogical Library of Ushinsky. He has been so kind to come and to be present at our event today. We have a methodologist, Karina Alexandrovna.
Do you know me?
Yes. We have our librarian, Marina Sergeyevna, and me as your teacher of English. So thanks for coming. So let us start. First of all, I want you to guess what we are going to talk about. Look at this small exhibition of books. Look at them, please. You have a lot of books. Try to guess what we are going to talk about.
So I think that we are going to talk about Russian and English literature.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You see the covers of books. Which books have you read? Have a look at them.
William Shakespeare.
Marina Alexandrovna has read William Shakespeare. What about you?
So of course I've read Tales by Chekhov and The Dead Soul by Nikolai Gogol.
So as you know, our school specializes in modern technologies, so we use a lot of modern technologies in the process of making our project. Such technology as blogging. It's famous all over the world, and of course we created a blog as a place where we could feel ourselves as
Our talk is not idle and our words are not hollow. We're going to show you how it works. Okay? So firstly, we created a blog. During our creation, we have a lot of new services for us, and our teachers helped us with that. We work with QR codes, Google Maps, electronic biographies, interactive stories, and also we decided to make a survey on reading preferences in our school diary. Would you mind if you show us the results? We can see the results in our blog.
Speaking about the results, we have analyzed the investigations of the SAR and find out such results as almost a very few amount of children read the foreign literature in the regional and the native literature. The level of understanding of text is very poor. The quality of reading is low. Not teachers but peers have a great influence on the reading preferences of the students. Children do not read classical literature, as I already mentioned. The role of the internet is significantly high. The communication of adolescents in the blog is increasing, and the most used the main sphere where we spend our past.
Is it possible to use the lesson? And the word
Of course.
for? In primary schools or maybe in secondary one?
Yes, a lot of technologies which were used in preparation of this project can be used while teaching small children.
Yes, thank you.
And they are very useful, I think, in my opinion.
And in my opinion, they can also be used as additive to their home education.
Yes, in addition.
Books that are portable, you can really take them anywhere.
Anyway, you are a good idea. Any other ideas?
I think it's also much more cheaper because you can pay only for an e-book, or you can buy a lot of single books and pay much more for them.
For a collection, for example. Good idea.
Maybe I think one of the advantages is connected with its memory card or with its storage. For example, you can load any book you like, and you don't need to find it in the library.
Yes, good idea. Masha, you would like to say
I think another advantage of ebook is also that you can
read at night because you can just adjust the darkness and just other settings.
Good idea. Yes, it's correct.
Yes, I can tell you that you can easily find the place and the line that you want to read by just typing one word, and it will be shown to you in just 1 second.
Thank you. And what about paper book?
So the paper book has a smell. I think it's magic. So I have a lot of favorite books. For example, The Lord of the Rings by John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. I think that is a classic book. It's full of interesting moments. It has got a very gripping plot. So I think it is a good book for everyone.
I see.
Well, right now I don't have a favorite. I'm currently searching for one, so I've read lots of books and it's hard to tell which one's my favorite.
I see.
I can tell that a favorite book is a book that really impressed you and played a great part in your life. So what about me is I enjoy English classics, and I've read several books of Charles Dickens as Oliver Twist and David Copperfield. I really enjoyed them. The plot was very complicated and the characters are really fantastic. They are all different types of characters, and so I really enjoyed
So I
it.
just found, I wrote a summary in written form, then I uploaded it in the service and found some pictures and put them to the text. So it is a wonderful story about Sherlock Holmes' adventures and a coming murder which took place in the moor. The legend told that the murder was created by a dog, giant dog. So Mr. Holmes sent Watson to the moor with the family of a man who was killed, and he tells him that he will stay in London, but no.
A little introduction, you know that our project work, not only our project work, but our roundtable discussions involved the investigation about the English literature and Russian literature. So today I want to present you the English literature program in Great Britain. The first thing that I want to mention is if you will ask us where we found out the exact information, we'll definitely say that on the apa.org.uk website. It provides a great deal of information about literature program in UK and about exams which are referred to the subject of literature. Here you can see the logo of the APA which says Realizing Potential and the screenshot of this website. Then I want to say that the English literature program in UK is divided in 4 units, and it's one of the most profitable ways to learn, mainly because it encourages students to widen their knowledge in literature because of reading widely, critically and independently. The first unit is text in context. The main aim of this unit is, of course, to encourage students to widen their interest in English literature, to choose any book they like. In the first unit, candidates can choose between the World War I literature, the literature of the Victorian period, and the struggle for identity in modern literature, as you see on the slide. The assessment of this unit is a 2-hour reading paper, which consists of 2 sections, and students answer 1 question from the 1 section. Section A is a contextual linking, and it involves 1 printed text. It can be a biography, a criticism, or I don't know, maybe a text from the other book, and the students need to link the main idea of their written paper to the main idea of this text. And The section B is poetry. So you can choose a poetry text and link this main idea of this poetry text to the book you've already read. Unit 2 is a creative study. In Unit 2, teachers and students choose their books within their chosen option. There is a wide variety of books that you can choose. This unit is oriented mainly on the interpretations of their books and how the students understand their meaning in the English literature. Speaking about text to choose, the set of reading for students in this unit can base, for example, on Arcadia or Hard Times by Charles Dickens and Victorian literature. In the World War I literature section, there can be a Ghost Road or Not About Heroes, as you can see in the slide. And in modern literature, they can choose maybe A Handmaid's Tale or Top Girls. The assessment of this unit is a prose and drama texts. The students write the essays about prose and drama texts. Each unit counts about 2,500 words in total. The prose text is oriented on their personal opinion about this text, on their interpretation, and drama text. The main idea of the drama text needs to be linked with the main idea of the prose text as well. Unit 3 is named Reading for Meaning. In this text, students of course can choose any book they like, about 3 books in total. They need to be linked by one theme, love through the ages. And there are some restrictions which need to be minded while choosing the book to read. The book needs to be of every genre and any time period. And, for example, written by both men and women. So in this slide you can see some text to choose. For example, in Unit 2, the set of reading of English literature for students can be based on the Antony and Cleopatra, the Wuthering Heights, as you know, and Romeo and Juliet or Angel and Love. The assessment of this unit is 2 compulsory questions. This assessment consists of 2 compulsory questions which the students need to be done. So, for example, question A involves comparing 2 items of the same genre, and the aim of the second question is almost the same as the aim of the question number 1. 2 books of the remaining genre are behind this, are in front of the students, and they need to build their answer upon their wider reading and give interpretations to these 2 books. And the last unit for them is Unit 4. It involves students in the extended study of Shakespeare. In this unit, students can choose 3 texts in total, in which one need to be, especially one play with Shakespeare. These 3 texts can have their own interpretation, their own plots, but they need to be linked by one theme, Love for the Ages, as we saw this in the previous unit. The text, as I already mentioned many times, students feel free to choose any book they like, but in this unit, as you see, they have a restriction. One play needs to be written by Shakespeare. So their set of their literature can build upon the one Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, for example, or some other books and the mentions of famous by William Shakespeare. The assessment of this unit is, I think, the greatest one in all the 4 units. It's the extended literary essay that counts 3,000 words in total. It focuses on comparison, the personal exploration of the students and their interpretation of the magazine. Its aim is to find out how the students understand the main idea of the given text and how they interpret it. I think my main thing that I need to mention is it's a very difficult task, not only because of the amount of the words, but it shows us how the particular student understands the plot of the book. And here you can see some famous quotes about the reading. For example, books are an equally plausible nature by Stephen King. It's a quote by Stephen King. And there are wars, crimes that burn in books. One of them is not written then by Joseph Brodsky. And I suppose you all know these quotes. Yes, that's all.
Thank you very much for your talk. So what have you noticed? What similarities or differences have you noticed? All of you, please say. Masha, what similarities and differences have you noticed?
Well, I think the main difference between Russian literature and students studying here and English is that the students can choose the book they like. Although they have their recommendations, they can still choose anything they want.
Yes, correct. Anyone else? Roman?
I've noticed that the program in Britain and the program in Russia are completely different.
Yes, what is different about it? The great difference that you have noticed.
The structure.
Structure itself.
Yeah.
Вот вторая часть нашего мероприятия подразумевает русский язык. Часть обучающей работы. Мы решили, нам стало очень интересно узнать, какова же обстановка с читательской грамотностью, с читательскими преференциями в нашей школе. И мы провели опрос. И вот Марина Сергеевна хотела бы представить некие результаты, и вот после этого мы могли бы обсудить.
Значит, да, мы провели некое такое анкетирование в разных параллелях, ну, поскольку здесь у нас старшие классы, да, будем говорить о старших классах. Охватили, конечно, не все, но мы только в самом начале. И знаете, очень интересно, для меня было важно выяснить. Очень давно, по-моему, весь 21 век, все говорят о том, что уровень читательской грамотности у нас очень в стране резко упал. Ну, ни для кого, наверное, это не секрет. И различные исследования это подтверждают. И многие учителя, и не только учителя, вообще многие люди говорят о том, что дети сейчас ничего не читают. Вот скажите, пожалуйста, вы с этим мнением согласны?
Нет.
И я с этим мнением не согласна. Я точно совершенно знаю, что дети читают. Другой вопрос, что они читают. Ну, это уже, говорится, второй вопрос. Но и когда мы проводили два анкетирования. Первый опрос был направлен на то, чтобы определить, что вообще дети читают, либо не читают. И я его составляла таким образом, я просила всех ответить, ну, всех, кто принимал участие, ответить на вопрос, вот знакомы ли им подобные авторы, подобные произведения. И, конечно, как я и предполагала, получила подтверждение своей теории, что дети читают, да, они знают этих авторов, они знают эти произведения разных стран мира, и меня это очень порадовало. И даже в графе «Предложи свой вариант», да, дети не оставляли ее пустой, и писали тех авторов и названия тех произведений, которые я не называла. А второй опрос был направлен на то, чтобы, значит, выяснить, как обстоит дело, допустим, вообще с отношением к чтению, да, с тем, как предпочитают дети читать в электронном виде, в печатном виде, откуда они получают информацию, с кем они делятся информацией, с кем они обсуждают то, что они прочитали.
Именно достойных найти очень мало. Мне кажется, легче найти зарубежных авторов.
Легче зарубежных, да?
Если
Хорошо,
говорить
да?
о том, что среди российских авторов нет достойных, то это значит, что какое-то количество пересмотрели и выяснили, что они не очень достойны. А какое количество? современных авторов, как мы смотрели, и какие произведения. А то получается, что вы такой вызов бросаете современным российским писателям, и можно подтвердить.
Ну, знаете, я
Экспериментально.
не говорила, что русская литература
Нет,
плохая.
российская современная.
Российская современная, да, в принципе, плохая. Просто у нас именно писательское направление, или это старые авторы, которые пишут давно, которые продолжают свои серии.
Какие авторы?
Ну, например, тот же Дмитрий Глуховский со своим метро, Владимир Павлов, например, Питер ПГ, которые вроде как бы экспериментальные, они должны быть новыми, но они совсем не захватывают. Вы начинаете их читать и оставляете эту книжку обратно на полку.
Хорошо, хорошо. Вы назвали пока 2 фамилии, а еще?
Ну, например, вот я могу сказать положительный пример. Это Мариам Петросян «Дом в котором». Это очень большая книга, это русско-грузинский автор. И меня лично эта книга очень впечатлила. Мне кажется, что это самый лучший пример
Кто
русской
такой современный
литературы.
автор? Вы их как вот градируете, по возрасту или как?
Который пишет книги сейчас, которые
Который
издаётся в наше
который
время.
пишет книги сейчас, да? И не важно, что он, допустим, может быть, начинал писать там, в середине 20 века, какая разница, если он сейчас живет и успешно работает, наверняка он был бы вам
Мне кажется,
интересен.
нет такого рецепта, что книга, чтобы была захватывающей, должна быть написана именно так.
Совершенно верно,
То
конечно.
есть, по-моему, книга должна показывать какой-то интересный, необычный взгляд на жизнь, взгляд, который, в общем, взгляд на жизнь, который тебя захватывает, который кажется...
Если мы вот подготовим такую анкету с участием специалистов, социологов, да, которая будет грамотно построена, вы не откажетесь откровенно ответить на эти вопросы и обдуманно порекомендовать что-то своим одноклассникам? Нет, конечно. Ну хорошо, спасибо всем большое. Я буду рада, если вы еще раз изъявите желание поучаствовать в анкетировании, именно с прицелом на то, чтобы порекомендовать как можно больше литературы, которая, на ваш взгляд, заслуживает внимания. И если бы вы еще и ставили там читательский адрес, было бы вообще супер. Спасибо большое.
Большое спасибо.
Спасибо.